Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is playwright and actress and writer and bon vivant, Megan Gogerty, who has...
And Sagittarius.
Okay, there you go. I left that part out. Who has a new show opening at Riverside Theatre called Fair State, another one-person show, which is kind of your thing.
Mm-hmm. My seventh one at Riverside. Can you believe that, Dennis?
I know.
And yet we both look so young.
We do. But before we start talking about that, I just want to talk to you about the crazy success that some of your other shows have had. Because I see on social media that you put out when they're being performed around the places. Lady Macbeth and her best pal Megan.
Yeah, sure.
And the and the dinner one. What's
a Feast?
Feast. Thank you.
Yeah, Feast is having a moment. It's it's remarkable. It's being produced all over the country. This was a show that premiered at Riverside in 2019.
I was there. I saw
and then it just has exploded over this past few years. So it was in LA this year. It was in Austin. There's a theater company in Minneapolis called Walking Shadow Theater Company. They have produced it twice.
Wow.
And are doing a third remount this spring, which is really exciting. So it's just it means so much that a play that of mine has found an audience.
It's one thing for any playwright. Of course, any playwright is proud when their play is produced and and the yellow or blue booklet with the script comes out and is sent around. But when it is a one-person show and so intensely personal. And I'm sure you've gotten to a few of these.
Sure, and it's always so weird to see somebody play Megan Gogerty. But the good news is the plays stand up as plays. Like it's a character whose name happens to be Megan Gogerty. And honestly, that's how I approach them. Like the plays that I write, I like to say, everything happened and is true, and some of it really happened. So I have a willingness to be a little semi-autobiographical. But so I think about the character Megan Gogerty as a character that I'm writing in the play for a lot of my plays. Now, this new play, though, is probably the most autobiographical of every play I've ever written.
The main theme, it's kind of something that we all experience in our fractured times.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
How to talk to people that you come in contact with and people you love.
Yeah.
Who are on the other side of the political divide.
Yeah.
We've all had it for our whole lives, but it's become a lot more difficult these last few years.
Well, we're in this time, 2026 is a time where there is a lot of profit in us being divided. There's a lot, the algorithm feeds us videos to make us mad. There are politicians that benefit from an us versus them.
Social media is an outrage machine.
Yeah, for sure. And the problem with that is, one, it feels bad, but two, it gets us away from the truth, because the truth generally is pretty nuanced. The truth tends to be pretty complex. And when you fall into an us versus them mindset, you can lose sight of the truth. And Fair State is about a particular relationship that is complicated for me. It's about my dad, Jim Gogerty. Jim Gogerty was a very funny, very eccentric, very interesting man. And he's super dead now, Dennis. It's important that you know that. If anybody calls KCCK and it's like, says they're Jim Gogerty, hang up. That's a poltergeist immediately. But he was a very funny and interesting man, and also a terrible father, which he admitted. Like, that's no surprise to anyone who is familiar with our family. He was a really terrible father. And when you have a problematic relative like that, when you're a kid, when your parent doesn't love you the way they should, you think, oh gosh, what's wrong with me that my parent doesn't love me? And then when you get older as an adult, you go, oh, no, I'm fine, actually. It's that he had a lot of problems and he did the best that he could.
He was a person.
Yeah, he was a human being. And the truth of him is much more complicated. And it's tempting to want to say, first of all, to ignore all the bad stuff, to paper over that and just go, la, 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 he was great, which is not true. And that's a lie, and the lie is a poison. But it's also, I don't think, very useful to just drum up all the terrible things that he did and ignore his legacy. Because the thing that I have to live with is that some of the qualities about myself that I treasure the most come from my dad. His sense of humor, his curly hair. Frankly, Dennis, my sense of humor and my curly hair are my most important priorities, and they both come from him. And so you have to kind of hold both things about him in one hand. And so I'm thinking about Jim Gogerty, and my problematic relative in that respect. But then I also in the play think about the history of Iowa. I'm a 6th generation Iowan through my father's side. One of the first people to found this state was a Gogerty. And so thinking about the history of the Iowa settlers and their legacy, again, we run into that sort of complexity and that nuance. The history of Iowa is extraordinary. So much about this state that I don't think I really appreciated until writing this play. Just the ways that Iowa throughout history have been at the forefront of America in terms of championing our ideals, liberty, equality, democracy, freedom. Iowa has been at the center in many extraordinary ways. And what is also true is that our state was able to kind of become this utopia because the U.S. government forcibly removed the people who were already living here. And that's a kind of a pebble in our shoe that's easy to want to paper over and pretend that didn't happen. But again, lies are poison. We have to tell the whole complicated truth. We have to hold the whole thing in our hands. And I think as adults, that is the way forward, right? The way that we get over that political divide, the way that we come together as a people is by telling the truth. So I'm talking about Jim Gogerty, but I'm also sort of talking about Iowa.
In the past, these one-person shows, you've had a director to work with.
Oh, yes.
The great Saffron, who's been a guest on the returning champion to the Culture Call. She's been here with you several times. Yep.
Oh, she's so brilliant. And yes, she and I worked together. She directed my last 3 solo shows. I hope she directs all my other plays after this. I just adore her.
But you are doing this on your own.
I know. Can you believe it? Every day I wake up, I'm like, why am I doing this by myself? But I wrote this play. Usually Saffron and Saffron is one of my earliest readers. She reads my drafts early on, and we talk about it and develop the scripts together and really kind of create a shared vision. But this play burst out of my head like Athena. Like it just came out whole. And it became really clear that I didn't need a whole lot of development. Like I already knew what this play was. And I took Saffron out to breakfast and I was like, look, I'm not sure. I think you'd be bored. I don't know what there is for you to do. You know, I want to do this really minimalist, kind of a ghost story. This play is a ghost story. So the audience is like sitting around a campfire. And I'm like, I don't know, what you do. And I was afraid I was going to hurt her feelings. And Saffron was like, oh, no, you're ready. What am I going to do? By all means, go on. And so that felt really great to have her blessing. But I am in kind of uncharted territory in that we're building this play without a director. Now, we don't have a director, Dennis, but I am not alone.
Well, I was just going to, I know that you have a lot of able help there, starting in your own household.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, here's my advice to any theater artists out there, which is marry the production designer. Like if you can find a set and lighting designer who can also make you breakfast, that's a keeper. That's the guy you want to marry. So Chris Rich, my husband, is also the production designer, the sound, the lights, the sets, and it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous what he is building. And then I have a wonderful stage manager who's so brilliant. She's a genius. Her name is Meenakshi Chinmay. And the 3 of us are in a room together every day in rehearsal, and we are building this play, and it's really exciting.
With, again, with such a personal story, your husband's, 1/3 of the team. What happens when rehearsal ends? Are you guys able to leave it in the rehearsal hall, or are you just live, eating, and breathing this thing 24/7 until it opens?
Well, I would love to say we had strong boundaries and we're like, no, now let's not talk about work. But we do talk about it quite a bit. And that's been kind of the joy of it, is that, Saturday morning at 8:30, one of us can roll over and be like, hey, here's an idea I had about the opening of the play. And we can kind of work through it. But the other great thing about a one-person show is that we go home at 8:30. we start rehearsal at 4:30 and we're done by 8:30 because mother cannot stay up. Do you know what I'm saying? I cannot be up at 11 p.m. like these young bucks who are doing these plays. Like, that's for the youth. I'm going to go to bed at 9.
And you don't have to worry about people showing up late for rehearsal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. 2/3 of us are in the same car. We're going to get there on time. So
Fair State opens
January 22nd, and it runs for 2 tender weeks, just a 2-week run.
Yes, short run.
Yeah.
Talk about Riverside Theatre for just a minute before we go, because as you said, you've opened 7 plays there.
Yeah.
This is really kind of your creative home, and of course, you've worked with different. You were there before Adam, and now you're working with Adam, and so the staff has transitioned to overtime.
I have got to see Riverside Theatre grow up because I got to grow up along with it. Riverside Theatre, as you know, Dennis, founded by Jody Hovland, Ron Clark, Bruce Wheaton, and they were able to make this beautiful theater that has endured through several artistic directors now. And now it is in the capable hands of Adam Knight, who I adore. Adam is so brilliant. He's so sensitive. He's such a good steward of our arts community. And his scarf game is on point. If you ever get a chance to be in a room with Adam, listen, you're going to be a high-styling guy.
Well, when it comes right down to it, it's all about the scarves.
Yeah, it's all about the scarves.
Those watching the video can see that Megan's scarf game is pretty good, too.
It's pretty good. But Riverside Theatre, in the wake of the pandemic, ended up building a new theater downtown in the Ped Mall. That still feels new to me. It's been open now for
some years,
few years, 3 years or so. But it still feels new. It is gorgeous. I mean, frankly, there is no theater in New York City that is as beautiful, as far as I'm concerned. It is so beautiful. And it's in the Ped Mall, and yet it's soundproofed so well that you would never know there are bars happening on the first floor because we're on the 3rd floor. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Fair State opens January 22nd, runs through the 1st of February. You can get tickets at riversidetheater.org. Well, Megan, it is always a pleasure to see you and hear about what you've got cooking. I'm so looking forward to this, and good luck with the last bit of rehearsal, and boy, have fun with it.
Thanks, Dennis.
You can hear The Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.